Would you like to know how to work flexibly during your menopause? So actually having a flexible work contract, so flexible working hours, it's like the nirvana. If you would like that during this phase of your life, then you're in the right place because this series of videos is all about flexible working during your menopause. Now you might want to go back and look at the first and the second video. So the first one was all about the difference between remote working and flexible working. And the last video was all about when flexible working works and when it doesn't, and what you need to be clear about with yourself when you're asking for flexible working. So that's today's message. How do you ask for flexible working? So it could be the point at which you think, oh gosh, it's too hard. Well, we're here today to break it down into some very, very simple steps.
My name's Kate Usher, and I'm a menopause coach and change strategist. And I work with women to enable them to take control of their menopause and to feel empowered to step into the next phase of their life, their second phase of their womanhood. And I also work with organisations to create female and menopause friendly workplaces by creating strategies that are easily implementable and have a massive impact. I'm also the author of Your Second Phase, and you can buy that at any book outlet. So let's get on with today's recording.
Okay, so step one is understand exactly how your menopause is showing up. What symptoms are you suffering from and how are they impacting you? Are there specific symptoms that are playing havoc with you? So, for instance, um, are you suffering from flooding? Are you suffering from migraines? Do you get anxiety and panic attacks? Are you suffering from sleep deprivation due to night sweats or insomnia? Are you having hot flushes one every few minutes? And are they completely debilitating? There are so many. There are in excess of 40. So which ones are showing up and which ones are having the greatest impact? Because not all of them will do. Not all of them will impact you in your day-to-day life. So once you're clear about that, and it's really important to be clear about that because you can't move forward on a good, strong foundation of discussion until you gain absolute clarity about that. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, what kind of organisation do you work for? Under UK employment law, you have the right to ask for flexible working. So understand exactly what your contract says, exactly what kind of organisation you work for, and understand how they approach what is the corporate culture. Well, how does your team work within that? What's the team culture? Is it long hours, burning the candle at both ends, or is it very much a sort of 9 to 5, 8 to 6 kind of situation? Do you have an organisation which likes to encourage a good work-life balance? Do you have one that recognises gender issues? So in this video, it's all about things like periods, um, uh, pregnancy and maternity and bringing up your children, so caring duties, and that's also caring for an elderly relative as well. And of course, menopause, because that's what we're talking about today. So, what kind of organisation is it? Does it recognise those phases of women's lives? And does it support women, or does it just kind of think, oh, for God's sake, get on with it? So you need to be clear about what the organisation is like, what the sort of what your manager is like, what their approach to this is, Some managers are fantastic, and you can see that by lots of the things that they do. They support their staff when things happen. They look after them and make sure that they're okay, whereas others couldn't give two hoots. So you will have seen this in absolute surround sound and clear vision throughout the pandemic, as managers and organisations have either excelled and been fantastic at supporting their staff, while some have not. So you'll know what kind of organisation you work for. So that's step 2, understand your corporate culture and how you can tap into that. Number 3 is all about planning exactly what you're going to ask for. So, and when you've got those 2 bits of information, know when you're at your best and how that shows up. So it's not just about when it's not going well, it's also about when it is going well and the time that you work at your very best, and have some points to explain that as well. And if you do work with a certain geographic area, bring that into the conversation too. This is a complex area, and prior to the pandemic, many women found it almost impossible to ask this. But now, this is like the most amazing opportunity if you are suffering with your menopause symptoms to get flexible working. So take it as a normal business decision. So plan it, practice what you're going to say and what they could say in return, so that you have an answer for all of this. Ensure that you stick to your guns, what it is that you need and why you need it. But the one thing to remember, last of all, is that this is a negotiation. And you may find that you can't get everything that you need, but you can get 80% of it, in which case it's a great place to start. Going forward with this, it is about it being communicated in a positive way, that you will be working at certain hours and that you'll be managing that. And you may need to reiterate that. So you and your manager are going to have to be able to have that conversation with others if it's required. So if you're going for flexible working, know exactly how your symptoms show up and when they show up, what kind of organisation you have. When you work at your best, and how you need to bring evidence of that. If you work for a geographic area, make sure that is included in your pitch, because this is what it is. And at the same time, ensure that you stick to your guns about what it is you need and why. And the last thing is to ensure that your organisation, so your manager, your HR team, and you communicate this positively as you move forward. Remember, this is not forever. This is just for your menopause. So when you get to the other side, your career is intact, your ambitions are on track, and you can keep going with everything that you love doing. So that's it for today. Please subscribe, and I will see you soon.